The Four Apocalypses. Political landscapes dissolve. Fascism emerges. Hatred is weaponized to drive the people against each other. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be driven by us, the people, when we unite to destroy tyranny. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. As the oily fish spits out its oily prey, and as death laughs, we have come together to end injustice and hatred. If we do not do this, no one will. We must end climate change, poverty, war, and slavery before we all become victims of these. The American Reform Party can imagine this earth without smog. We imagine a world without government-funded killing. The American Reform Party can imagine this world in which no person has to choose between food or shelter. ARP can imagine this world where no one is caged and enslaved. Climate change. Global temperatures are rising as a result of the burning of fossil fuels. The only way to halt global warming is to stop burning fossil fuels. There is a timer on this issue. When the ice caps fully melt, the global temperature will slip entirely out of control. We will all die if the ice caps melt. This is an issue that the free market is well equipped to solve, but the free market needs direction from the government before it will solve this problem. 2024 was the 10th consecutive hottest year on record. This trend will continue without government intervention. The American Reform Party is dedicated to upgrading U.S. energy production to reduce its dependence on finite and harmful natural resources. We will do this by ending government subsidies for fossil fuel companies and instating new subsidies for renewable energy, creating jobs and environmental stewardship with a focus on replenishing essential natural resources like lumber and water. We must tax pollution and natural resource use at much higher rates for corporations because they must give back as much as they take. Poverty. Humans have designed a society where money is required in order to procure the basic necessities for life. Food, water, land, and shelter all cost money. The free market lacks the ability to regulate wealth inequality. In a system which functions on the value of a single finite resource, the dollar, extreme poverty is the product of extreme wealth. This is why, without government intervention, the poverty line will continue to rise as more jobs are replaced every year. Without intervention, eventually, society itself will become defunct. The American Reform Party aims to introduce policies which will assure that no person is left in poverty. Policies include a basic income program for people in poverty. Non-for-profit health insurance is the only long-term solution to rising healthcare costs. It could be implemented by the federal government or an independent organization. In 2024, the highest U.S. income tax bracket starts at $610,000 at a taxation rate of 37%. It is necessary to add progressive tax brackets with higher taxation rates. This will decrease the tax burden on low-income people and everyone who makes less than $610,000 a year. War. Warfare will end humanity if humanity does not end it. The United States spent over 13.3% of its budget on the military in 2023, including $142 billion on weapons procurement alone. The corporations that manufacture these weapons are price gouging and profiteering from war. This comes at the cost of the American taxpayer. For as long as there is a military-industrial economy, there will be war. We need to center our economy around creative innovations to help humanity deal with our issues. War is anti-progress and authoritarian. How can anyone put an end to war? An end to warfare is a lofty goal, not to be aspired to lightly. A lasting republic of nations, committed to demilitarization and democracy, must be formed. The goal of world peace must be instilled as the moral core of our military. In the short term, the USA should demand lower prices from the profiteering corporate leaders. In the long term, war profiteering must be made illegal. Otherwise, the free market will perpetuate warfare. Slavery. The prison industrial complex began as a way to re-enslave black people who had been recently freed from chains. The neo-slavery era is not taught in public schools because if it was, we, the people, would not stand for the private prison system. We must all educate ourselves on the white supremacist origins of police forces and prisons in America. Criminal persecution is a threat to the existence of humanity because any person can be made a criminal by their government. The for-profit prison system is designed to keep the enemies of the state, criminals, imprisoned and in the condition of slavery. Policy. End disenfranchisement as punishment. Nationalize all prison infrastructure and ban private prisons. Confine the use of life sentencing to violent crimes or severe crimes which have victims. The justice system needs major reforms to avoid the tyranny wrought on our poorest friends and neighbors. The people of the United States must put cosmetic differences aside in favor of our real bonds. Humanity has a responsibility to resolve the threats facing our societies. This is not to say that our other societal issues are unimportant or small. We face major adversity every day, and ending that adversity is the ultimate goal of art. All of our societal issues are causes or effects of these four factors. We must keep the four apocalypses in mind when legislating, with the goal of reducing harm. When voting, we must think critically about our reasoning beforehand. There are dilapidated buildings in your city's downtown because our negligent government is not protecting our supply of land, turning a public good into a speculative investment. Our public schools are dramatically underfunded because the government funnels capital into private corporations to fund fossil fuel companies and the military and prison industrial complexes. ARP supports the policies above because they attack the biggest problems at their roots. Ultimately, we must reconstruct our society to meet the demands made to us by the future. We must look forward. We must help each other.